are listening to Kane and Randy on Scratch the Vinyl.
Scratch the Vinyl.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Scratch the Vinyl. We have a special guest in studio. It's always great when someone's in studio with us. It always feels fantastic. It's always a little bit awkward when I'm just down here by myself or with Fred the Skeleton talking about nothing. But luckily, I have Randy on the other end. And you have Fred the Skeleton's hiding right now.
Yeah.
And he's back in my closet, and maybe we'll let him out again. But you know, we have none other than he's brand new to the Scratch the Vinyl podcast family and universe. He's the KZUM legend that you all know. You've seen him at the Zoo Bar. He is Slacker Dave, David Rabe. Dave, welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for allowing me on your podcast. Big inspiration.
I can't believe that it's been this long. I mean, I didn't actually look at like how long. But I know it's been quite a while since you were in here. But I talked to you so much, it feels like it was only yesterday. And another thing that feels like it was only yesterday is the last time that I talked to my co-host. So let's bring him on right now as well. He's the chill man himself. He is Randy, Mr. Chill Wilson. Randy, welcome back.
Hey, guys, it's great to see you both. And Dave, hey, you brought us into your studio. It only seems fair that we bring you into ours.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, playing vinyl.
Dude, that was a blast. I mean, I don't know. It went so wild for me because like most of the time when you listen to a radio show, most people don't know that at KZUM, they play all sorts of different things. They play CDs, they play tapes, they play vinyl, they play all sorts of different stuff. And we got to have that moment with you, Dave, where we got to play all the stuff that we wanted to hear mixed with the stuff you brought in. And we got to play vinyl the whole time. That was a blast, man. That was like a bucket list moment.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I don't normally do vinyl. Just gonna say that right out there. It's a lot of work. And you gotta have the right speed. You gotta, oh God, it's I'm a laptop DJ.
I remember we did screw up the one time on the wrong speed. And it was like we were all expecting to hear that perfect sound, and it went like we all looked at each other like, oh, the switch. But I think that just added to the experience. That was so fun.
There are some fun things to play at wrong speed. The Osmonds Wild Horses play that at the slower speed, and it sounds like the Melvins. It's amazing. It's the heaviest song ever if you slow it down a notch.
But does Satan appear when you play it that way, or is that the Osmonds backwards?
No, that oh God, maybe that was it. I don't remember. Yeah. Well, from Little Nicky.
Yeah,
I love Little Nicky. That's one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. Very underrated. Very, very underappreciated.
Dane, we all know that's when you play Mariah Carey Christmas songs at slow speed.
Hey, you're not supposed to even mention Mariah Carey and Christmas together. You could bring out bad things. Now, I guarantee you my phone now is going to play me some Mariah Carey Christmas song commercial over and over again. And
I'm sorry, I did that on purpose.
Thank God we don't have a mirror in here, like Bloody Mary, she'll appear behind us.
I was thinking about you guys last night. I was at the Aardvark Antique Mall, and they have lots of booths with a lot of records, tapes, 8-tracks, all that kind of stuff. I purposely walked away from them. I didn't even look. I know you're ashamed, but I didn't even look.
We can end this podcast. I have something to do now. Sorry, guys.
I would have taken a picture from my phone and just sent it to Kane and go, hey, Christmas is here.
Oh, you guys love this. I did find a authentic, like a branded, like the shirt itself is branded Taylor Swift Eras Tour t-shirt in my lovely wife Amanda's size, and I sent her a picture, and I could hear the screams over the text, yeah. So I had to buy that, but it was a good deal too. Like, not like you're buying it at the concert. I'll tell you that much. It was.
Yeah, it was only like $500.
No, it was $20. I mean, Taylor Swift era. I mean, that's like a year ago, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In 20 years, it will be worth that and then some, Randy.
Heck yeah.
You know, what people don't understand is that when we talk about the Swifties coming after us, we're talking about the guy next to us, because every time we make a negative, Dave's like, come on, guys, you know, like that ain't right. You know, like my old lady loves Taylor Swift. I know that Dave is a Swiftie for her. And, you know, he's kind of brought me around and made me see the light on Taylor Swift and our, like, the music, like diving into it.
Oh yeah. I'm with you. I understand if it's not your sweet spot.
Yeah.
You know, it's not your sweet spot. And by the way, I've never called my wife my old lady, because I got a hot young wife. You know,
Your young lady, I meant. If he's listening to this, sorry, it's just kind of like the term. Although I enjoy calling my wife the old lady.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I'm not saying anything bad. Sorry. I didn't want to. I'm not shaming you or anything. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You know, you talk about passing things up. I was at there's a new Goodwill, and of course, when I see that stuff, it's on the north side of town, I dial in, and I know there's probably going to be some records over there. So I took my daughters today. We hauled over there as soon as it opened, and they had some records, and I had probably about 12 or 15 picked out, you know, thinking I'm going to get the old dollar specials like I always do. And they were asking $3.99 a piece. And can you believe it, Randy? I passed up on it for the first time in my life. Much, you know, my wife would be so proud of me. I passed on these records. They weren't worth it to me.
It's because you blew your allowance on the last batch you got.
The Slipknot double.
The Slipknot double album.
Yeah.
You might have blown your whole year's worth of allowance stored albums.
That's what I get for going to the corporate places like Barnes and Noble to find. But man, I got to tell you, it's just when you're looking for that one album and you know you can't. I didn't find it anywhere else. I went there and they had it, and so I don't want to. I'm not going to be an advocate for Barnes and Noble because they're an evil corporation, or maybe they're great. I don't know, but I found Slipknot there.
I remember Barnes and Noble having vinyl albums way before they came back, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know. Their music side's always been pretty impressive, and the books are pretty impressive too. But yeah.
But you got to shop local. I mean, there's those guys that get so nasty with me when I post pictures about and videos on, like, when I'm thumbing through Walmart or Target. But to be honest with you guys, I'm just if I see records, I'm definitely thumbing through them. It doesn't matter where I go. It doesn't matter if it's Randy's aunt's house and they're just sitting there. It doesn't matter where it is. I'm going through those records. I want to see what people have. I just love looking at the covers. I love smelling albums. I like the smelly old ones. I just dig it, man.
I love it. Love it. How many records are you up to now, by the way? Do you have a count? Do you have a database?
Well, I started a database. I started writing out and I picked like a stack. And so I wrote it out. I was doing the whole alphabetical thing and I just got overwhelmed with it. And so I just gave up. But, you know, I had once sold my, when I was having my heart issues, I had once sold my entire collection at that time for money. So this is all new to me, believe it or not. And I have a pretty good collection, I would say. And it's not it's a modest little collection. It's pretty nice. So, and it grows by the second. So if you guys have records out there and you want to dump them on me, don't tell my wife, just kind of like hide in the shadows and then, knock on the door like 8 times and then I'll come out and I'll take them from you. Well, let's move on to what exactly Dave is up to. You know, why we brought him in here. There's so many reasons. I mean, we didn't get to scratch the surface with you, Dave, last time you were in here because it goes so fast. But you have a new podcast now, Slacker Dave Loves Nebraska, out there, and it's on all of the different services, just like ours. I'm helping produce it. And why don't you tell everybody about this experience, why you decided to do it, and what it's all about?
Well, what it's all about is, kind of Nebraska, some music. I mean, anything. I love Nebraska. I think a very underappreciated state. It is not just this one big flat, you know, bocce court, thing. There is some amazing things in the city. I mean, the state, excuse me, way in the city. Great musicians, great artists, historians. We have amazing. The Capitol is amazing. I don't know. I just love Nebraska, and I met you guys, and I did the podcast with it, and then all I could think about was doing my own podcast after I was on with you guys. And I'm like, man, guys are, superstars, but they seem like regular guys, I mean, I know they're, way above me. You guys are way up there. 100 plus podcasts. Come on now. That's a lot of years.
You're flattering us, Dave. You were the guy we were trying to be, the radio guy who's been on forever, right, Randy?
Yeah, we're just regular guys, and you treated us to like our dream of, being in the studio and spinning records and talking music. Like you were like the godfather to us.
Hey, and now we have a new member of the KZUM family, Kane Stevens. You got the Programmer Academy. We accept, you can put an idea in for a show. I don't know much about that. It's above my pay grade. But I know we have a Programmer Academy every so often that we have people come in, and you too can have a show on KZUM. Anybody can have a show. Well, I mean, you have to be accepted, blah, blah, blah. You can't be an evil person, I think.
That's why Kane was accepted and I wasn't so far.
Randy's evil.
And then, sometimes people put show ideas in there that would be great, but we already have like 17 shows that do that already or something, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I encourage everybody to put applications in. And I think it's the greatest thing that's happened to me, except for marrying my wife, It's I love it. I love it a lot. And then you guys, and then Kane, if it wasn't for you, I'd never have a podcast because, you have such knowledge that I don't have. I'm just not knowledgeable in that area, and you have that knowledge, and you agreed to help me out. And yeah, I owe it all to you guys. Actually, love being part of the Scratch the Vinyl multiverse.
The multiverse.
Yeah, I like that.
Like Spider-Man, in a alternate reality of some sort. I mean, this could be like a Joe Rogan size podcast, and yours could be right up there with it, So I think in an alternate universe, we're already there, my friend.
Yeah, if
Dave's our friendly neighborhood radio guy.
If you like to hear a bunch of us and yeah. You're right my alley, listen to my podcast,
Well, that's, Dave, you are, I actually enjoy like listening to you. Like editing's a different thing because when you edit, you listen, but you don't listen. Right. But when you actually sit down and listen to the show, it's got so much there. Like that last one that you had with Carter Van Pelt. I mean, I got so much out of it. And then before that, you had Miles on, right? From
Jasnowski.
Yeah. And I mean, there was so much on the hook there for me with him talking about gear to all the stuff that you guys, I mean, I was just like, I'm just extremely entertained by what you guys are doing with that podcast.
Thank you. I've been trying to do it in non-traditional settings. Like we've gone to the Highway Diner, La Paz, O'Rourke's. I went to Wisner for one coming up here pretty soon. I went to their Heritage Museum. I'm just trying to mix it up. And sometimes, if you have some food or something sitting around, some people loosen up. And I have no agenda. I don't write out any questions. I might have things in my head that we never get to, but I just like to have a conversation with some people. That's the funnest thing. Like sitting down and having a meal, that's the best thing you can do with another human being, I think.
Why don't you let our listeners know when you release every week?
Right now, Tuesdays is our day for at midnight or 12:01 or whatever it would be. I get lost on the is midnight.
Like Monday night into Tuesday morning is how I would describe it, right?
Yeah. Anywhere you can get stuff. Same places you got it.
Yeah, I mean his content will be very similar in some ways and others very different because I'm producing it, so it's on YouTube. You're getting the full interview, but what's different from his is that he's going to these locations and like these restaurants, Highway Diner, and all this, and they're sitting down and just having a good, honest conversation with each other. It's unscripted. You never know where it's gonna go. It's just it's a blast to listen to. I know my favorite question that you ask is the one like people's favorite thing in Nebraska. Like if they had to point somebody.
Yeah, if somebody's going on a vacation, where are you sending them? Like Randy, where are you sending somebody if they're coming to Nebraska? Where are you sending them on a vacation?
Oh, as a vacation, like things to do or see?
Yeah, things they need to see in Nebraska. Like what the coolest things you think are. I mean,
well, of course, I always start with, of course, come during football season and experience a whole game day, what it's like to be with the crowd, the fans, going to the stadium, just, and basically explaining to them that, when the stadium's full, it's like the third largest city in the state because there's that many people in one location, and understanding that, as the size of a state we are, our population is still, I think, 1.7 million, and it's a unifying thing to bring everybody together for our university athletics. But yeah, the Capitol is obviously, if you've ever been down there and had an opportunity to go tour it, it is amazing. It's worth going to see. Otherwise, we just have a lot of nature things that I think that people should come and see. The Sand Hills and Chimney Rock, and you can go down the interstate and pick up something along the way. I've driven it many times and stop in every little small town, and you can sit down and have a beer with somebody and make friends in no time. We're just friendly people.
Have you been to Ole's Big Game Bar?
Absolutely.
Right.
And the Windy Gap across the street. Like, man, you could spend all week there.
That used to be my regular spot. Like whenever I was headed west, I would have to hit that either there on the way back or there and on the way back. That place is the best.
I used to go out there, do a little hunting near Paxton there, and man, such a great area, and the people are great. Like I said, if you're just traveling through the state, that's definitely a stop.
Yeah, well, you go out west and it's just it's like another world. It's almost like another planet. Like you get into the Sand Hills, Scottsbluff Monument, all of that type of stuff. My wife is from like the Bridgeport area.
Oh yeah.
And it's beautiful out there. Her uncle actually lives like the house directly across from Chimney Rock.
Oh,
like
wow.
It's literally right out his window. That's where he lives. And so whenever we get to go back for that, it's amazing to go there and go walk up to the cemetery up there.
Wildcat Hills.
Oh yeah, the Wildcat.
That's very underappreciated, unknown, probably.
Yeah, there's so much. I mean, if I were to point somebody to somewhere in Lincoln, I'd point them to Robbers Cave. To be honest with you, I think Robbers Cave is the unsung hero of the city. I'm so glad that they decided to bring back tourism to it, and what Blue Blood did to clean it up and make it a tourist attraction again and safe. We used to go down in high school. We used to lower each other down with our beers and our rope, and we would go down in the dark and we would try to investigate in there. And so not only is it a alleged haunted location, who knows, but it's just beautiful, and it's cool to have a cave like that here in Lincoln that you wouldn't even know is sitting right there at our doorstep.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool place.
Oh yeah.
Probably the only other things I can think of is like in Omaha, where you have, the the zoo, which is one of a kind. And of course, we're the home of the College World Series in Omaha. And downtown Omaha there is kind of unique in its, in existence for that as well.
I haven't been to a College World Series game since it's been a Rosenblatt, so I haven't been to the new stadium at all, so I don't even know.
It's nice. I've gone the last few years with my uncle, and it really is nice because of where it is in Omaha. I mean, you're literally in walking distance of everything. So, I mean, as much as I miss the Blatt, I think that they did a good job on that stadium and the location that they chose. It really is nice.
That is a cool area down there.
Wait until we get to tell everybody in the future that one of the things you got to see in Nebraska is come to Lincoln to see the new music district.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Let's foreshadow just a little bit.
Well, somebody's got to be saying, I mean, somebody's going to say the Zoo Bar, right? I mean, the Zoo Bar is a destination, and that's another place where I would definitely point somebody to that direction, because for me, like I told Pete when he was in here, that was a highlight of my entire time of playing music. You can't really call it a career, but my tenure as a musician, the highlight was playing at the Zoo Bar. Like it felt like the ghosts of the past and all the great people who were there. It felt like I did something. And so I would definitely point them to that direction.
I mean, it's an honor to work there. I mean, working there to me is just like an honor, the paychecks, nice, but I work at the Zoo Bar, world famous Zoo Bar. And every time I've ever played on the stage at the Zoo Bar, I'm playing at the Zoo Bar. I mean, every single time it's cool. And I really love bands from out of town, or somebody from South Dakota was just here. I think it was South Dakota or maybe Kansas. I don't know. They were like, yeah, we've wanted to play here for like 4 years and it's never worked out. And, we're excited to come play here. And, they got there early, and I could see them just walking the walls slowly, looking at posters. Somebody had their flashlight out, it's a really cool place to be. And the music district's really cool. There's a lot of construction downtown and infrastructure happening that downtown needs as an area. I mean, they've put a lot of money in it, a bunch of other areas. Everything's looking good. Now it's nice to bring it back downtown, and just like sewer and stuff like that, water, and it's really nice to have that back in there. But we lost a couple streets, and there's not a lot of parking right now, and you got to go around to get to someplace. So all these businesses, as great as they are, they're just struggling like everybody else right now with a little bit more. So anytime you go down and spend some local money at any of the fine music venues in the city of Lincoln, which you can do almost 7 days a week, it's really appreciated. Maybe one less trip to I hate to say it, I'm not even going to say it. I would never say that.
Were you going to say Barnes and Noble?
No, I was going to say
Barnes and Noble for vinyl.
I was going to say maybe one less trip to Red Rocks, but that's never a bad thing. So I shame myself for even almost saying that. But you know what I'm saying? One less, $400 show, and $400. If you pay even $200 to go to some fancy show at Kansas City or something, one of those big arena things, that you can go to like 40 shows, 20 shows, or whatever. I can't do math right now. 20 shows in Lincoln, $10 shows, which is, average,
Dave, I've talked about that since I was blue in the face, is that these people are willing to spend a couple $100s to go to see one show, and yet they struggle to want to spend $10-$20 to go see some really great local talent on a regular basis. And it baffles me.
People complain if it's like, $5.
I will say though, when I went to the new Metal Sucks tour with my son at the Bourbon, when I was standing in line, there were some guys from Kansas City, and they came all this way, and I said, "What the heck are you guys doing here?" And they said, "Well, honestly, a lot of these bands pass up Kansas City in some capacities because it's not a big enough venue for them, or whatever, or we're just on the way, and so we like to come to Lincoln, and we like to come to Omaha." To see a lot of this stuff, but they said that they've seen a lot more shows here in Lincoln than a lot of places. So I think that says a lot. I think that we're on the right track. I think we're the new Field of Dreams when it comes to music. If you ask me, I think this district, we already have the district here. We already have the places and things, but now if they just finish it and kind of put a bow on top, I think that Lincoln's going to kill it, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do to the outside in the public areas. I want to know. I just want to see it. I'm excited. But it's still about going. Still the city can put all that stuff on. That'll be amazing. But it's the bar owners, the business owners downtown that are that's where the downtown is.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm saying I want everything. I want it all. I want big, giant free concerts every week. I want it all.
Being a former one of those guys, I would always dream about stuff like that, like having that ability. I always enjoyed every time they did a street where they closed off part of O Street and did live music. Zoo Fest is a great example. Like it just seems to bring everybody together.
Yeah, July Jam. Grew up going to July Jam. That was always a lot of fun. Maybe not your favorite music, but you still went.
Yeah,
it was music. I like to say like Jazz in June, which starts in June, and Stransky starts in June, and then Hub going on, the Telegraph. There is so much amazing music. You can go every Tuesday. You could go to down to the Sheldon and watch the Jazz in June. You don't even need to know who's playing. Just go. That's the best thing, and it's gonna be great music. It's always great music. You don't even need to know. Just go. The more you go to music, the better you'll feel.
What's the best time of year? I like you said, it's all of these places. The Telegraph District, like you said. My son just played there with his junior high group. They played a Friday there. Them and Southeast filled the time, and it was awesome. There's just farmers markets are going on. People are playing out there, and of course, keep going to these places downtown, like the Zoo Bar, like 1867. All of these places, Duffy's. I mean, everyone that has bodegas. I know I'm probably missing some, but all I'm saying is don't let the traffic issues fool you. You can still get to all these places. Those sidewalks are open. Make your way around wherever it is and get there. Don't let it take your dollar away.
Oh yeah, and there's great restaurants down there, and then you have that whole line coming up 14th with like Suru and Novel Idea Books and Gomez Art, and it's just local as local can get, and so much great food within a couple blocks of 14th and O Street. There are so many restaurants and things to do, and bars that don't have music that are amazing. O'Rourke's Tavern, those are always great. I think the watering hole closed, by the way. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah,
I think I saw that.
that's always that.
What is Noisel? Noisel is a music app for all of us musicians. That means us grinding it out in the studio, doing what we do. And it is a app where we can get listened to by local audiences as well as people all around the world. So I can tell you from personal experience that I even have my EP on Noisel, and it has been amazing. And it's cool to get the feedback from fellow musicians and local people telling me that they dig one of my songs. And, you can have that too. Nebraska musicians, Noisel needs you now. That's right now, everybody. We need you to dial in, get your music uploaded on there, and get paid. That's right. You actually get paid for the music that you put out. I know that you can be on Spotify and you can be on all these other things, but Noisel is where local musicians can go to really find who's out there. Who, when you're wondering to yourself, are there others out there like me? Are they playing music like me? Like what is there in my area? Well, this will have everything for you. You don't have to be ASCAP certified. You don't have to be certified with BMI. You don't have to be on Spotify. You don't have to have any of that. Upload your music now. Get your music out there to noisel.com. And I swear to you, you will be satisfied. So get your music out there on Noisel now. There's an app on your phone. It's on, you can dial it up on the computer. You can listen to it anywhere. You can take it with you and you can listen to Nebraska artists now. So join the revolution, everybody, and get on Noisel. I got to do it then. Since we're talking about downtown and talking about all these legendary places, you're actually the source of part of a legend, believe it or not, where it's a misnomer, where people think that you were a part of this. So recently we had the anniversary of Nirvana playing at Duffy's.
Yes.
Which is like Lincoln's claim to fame. Like really, that and some of us nerds will brag about Slipknot playing here before the masks.
Slipknot on a Lincoln label before anything.
Absolutely. We like to brag about that and we hold that as a badge of honor. But there are people out there that think that because you used to work at these places, I want to clear it up right now, Dave. Did you book Nirvana at Duffy's?
I did not book Nirvana when they played at Duffy's. That was Steve Schultz, who ran Project Import, was big in part of that. And then, of course, Reg and Sean Machu were all responsible for that one. Now, when I did work there, we had a date saved for them for their tour to support their new record. And then their new record came out, and it's like, yeah, we can't play at your club right now. You know,
it popped off for them. Those boys got good, didn't they?
They went from the 100-seater to like the 4,000, 5,000, the theater size in overnight. And so technically, Reg and I had them booked, but no contracts, no nothing, no, just not technically, but I guess we had a date saved.
In theory, you had it.
Yeah. If they weren't so good, they would have played there a second time.
So how many people were actually there, Dave? Because we all know probably thousands of people who claim that they were there. How many do you think were actually there?
Well, I asked Reg that. Reg McMean, former owner of Duffy's, was on one of my podcasts, and I asked him. He thinks it was like 120, maybe 140 people were at that show. He didn't think it wasn't super huge. It wasn't like when the millions play there, and and then but it's like thousands of people say they were there or standing outside. They stood outside and looked through the window.
Was that you, Randy? Were you
my story to that is I think I was drunk outside. And because the truth is I went to Duffy's on Thursday nights. Oh, so that was kind of I kind of had my places at times between work and where I got to hang out. And Thursday was the night I always went to Duffy's. And so that wouldn't have been a band night or it's definitely not the night Nirvana played. No. But I do want to say, Reg has been on my list to have on our show for a long time. He, people that know Reg McMean know that he was very instrumental in the music scene and comedy and doing the comedy workshop there at Duffy's on Monday nights. And just, a very integral part of a certain time period down there that promoted, entertainers and live music.
Yeah, he did a lot for he loves comedy, and we talk about that a lot. It's that he did amazing. The story of how they started is pretty dang cool. A lot of hard work and perseverance.
I spent about 8 years promoting National Comics, and working with Reg, and I did, when him and his wife also had bought the old Misty's.
Yep.
And, we did shows there, and they, had the nice banquet room, and we would do shows there and bring in national comedians. And of course, the nice thing was working with Reg was we could get guys that were doing the comedy workshops that were, just beginning, and use them as openers and when they got good enough, use them as features for a lot of our shows. And it was that grassroots development of talent. And, it's what we're talking about all the time. If we didn't have these places, like Duffy's, the Bourbon, the Zoo, that actually developed and gave opportunities for these, young original artists, comedians, or whatever to develop, we wouldn't have anything.
No, that's really cool. That whole I listen to a comedy podcast with Dana Carvey and David Spade, and they talk a lot of inside baseball. Like having the ability, the places for the comics just to work, just to try, just to keep working.
Those guys love to go back to their places. They get royal treatment now when they go back, but they love to go back there just to remember that feeling of that nostalgia of when they were cutting their teeth and trying to get noticed.
Well, it's like when they talk about the Comedy Store all the time, right? That's where most of the best comics, well, really all of the best comics in the world go to try out new things if they're in LA, hang out with different comedians. So it's I listen to that one, and I listen to like the Bert Kreischer one. I listen to Tom Segura and all these guys, and they all say kind of the same thing. It's just kind of a cool way to cut their teeth. And I think that I would love to see comedy pop off here in Lincoln, like I think music is. I would love to see somebody revive comedy. We have something like I think they have some comedy somewhere. Is it Howlers? Is that a place? Have you seen any of that, Randy?
Well, I don't know, but I'm going to be honest with you. In the last month, I've had at least 5 national comics that I used to work with contact me wanting to know if I could work them in Lincoln. And I'm like, man, I haven't booked a show in 12 years.
The Zoo does comedy on Sunday nights. It's not every Sunday night, but I believe it's every other Sunday. But it's on Sunday. They have Zoot Nanny. That started out as a Zoolarious, which was started by a comedian in town. Rest in peace, Brad Stewart. He used to open for Joan Rivers on tour, and he moved back to Lincoln, and then he started his own little comedy thing at the bar, and then the people they changed the name and kept it going, and that's fun. So we get a lot of Duffy's has a lot of those acts, those coming through there.
Well, you have connections with like Mark Gross that Reg was good friends with, that was from Lincoln, that was out in LA writing for oh God, he wrote for some of the big big TV sitcom shows.
Oh yeah, he produces. He's big time. I remember he was part of the Amore brothers at Duffy's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember all those guys, because we did a kind of a reunion show. God, it's got to be about 12 years ago at the Rococo.
Tim, Mike, Darren Meyer. Yeah.
Yep.
So, for a while, I had a snare drum and a cymbal on stage, and I would just stand in the back as certain people were doing their jokes, and I would just do rim shots.
Yeah.
I got to do that. Red Tolnai, Bobby Red Tolnai. He took me, we did the Funny Bone one time where I just played the Keely Smith straight guy with really bad rim shots behind him,
Oh man.
Ross Broccoli started there.
Yes.
There's some amazing talent, and there's some even ones before the era I knew that were famous. Reg talks about it. I forget names right now because I'm blacker.
Somebody Kane, of course, Richard Reese, who literally I saw Richard the first time. He was just doing a few minutes, had a couple jokes, has gone on to do really well and is a mainstay host and feature up at the Funny Bone in Omaha.
Lincoln High alum, man. Yeah. Richard, he was there when I was there. He's a funny guy. He's just a talented guy in general. I would love to zero in on him. I want you to pull on his heartstrings and get him on the show sometime.
There you go. There you go.
I will. I've talked to him, and you know what? He definitely will. Richard remembers the time. This is the same thing. Remembers the time when he was just starting out, and I was able to give him, at least 3-4 times a year an opportunity to open for some really good national comedians. I'll throw one at you. Great comedian Tim Northern, but has a very slow burn type of comedy. And I put Richard on the front side of that show, and Tim looked at me. He's like, "Randy, I'm going to kill you. How am I supposed to follow that guy?" No. And I'm thinking, Tim, you're Tim Northern. Like I've seen your show 3 times. You're amazing. So I learned some valuable lessons when you put a hot up and comer against that's a little different than some national guys want to go up against.
That's cool.
Who knew we would get into comedy today?
I would be remiss not to mention the name Dan Schlichel, who a good Nebraskan and former Lincolnite, who started stand-up records, who was putting out vinyl records for a long time. He puts out vinyl records for comedians, and did like the first person, Lewis Black. He's my friend with a Grammy, because he got a Grammy for producing a record. But he's done a lot for comedy, just nationally. Just nobody's putting out records, and he was ahead of all the schedule. Now
So that brings me to a thought, Randy, just real quick, is we're talking about comedy records. That's a major part of, like, when I get records or tapes at a place, there's always at least 3 or 4 comedy albums in there. I mean, is it okay for me to say that I have all of Bill Cosby's stuff and I still listen to it and laugh? And, I try to move past the fact that this was a guy doing horrific stuff, but at one time he killed.
He was huge.
Every time I eat a pancake, all I think about it is cake for breakfast, because it's a pancake's cake. Yeah, I still remember that routine.
I think you have to understand, Kate, like, guys is my age and probably Dave. We grew up with, like, he was a central part of cartoons. We didn't have the mass variety of TV cable shows to watch. So I'm going to tell you, you have a free pass. It's okay to listen to Bill's older stuff, because it was, despite him being apparently a horrible human being, he was a hilarious and knew how to be a comic genius. I'm
going to say piece of shit. I'm going to swear and just say piece of shit. But yeah, it's kind of like Ty Cobb, and that guy was a piece of shit. But man, that guy was an amazing baseball player. You can't take his, skills on the thing away, but still, man, turns out,
Pete Rose, one of the greatest hitters all time.
Yeah, he innocent.
Bet on baseball.
he was innocent. He was innocent.
Yeah. Well, rest in peace, Pete.
I was a big Pete Rose guy. I'm a denier.
Well, there's just so many cool albums. Like, for example, today there was a Bob. I passed on it because I already had it, but it was the best of Bob Newhart. I mean, that stuff kills. I'm sorry, if you just want to laugh and make your day better, go back and listen to some of those silly records that these guys did. It's outrageous.
Do you have any Andy Griffith?
I don't have Andy Griffith, but I would kill to have some.
I know I had a Richard Pryor one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was a big deal back, in the 80s.
George
Like,
Carlin too. George
Carlin was one of the best. Yeah.
Emo Phillips, I think I still have, and I think I still have Stephen Wright.
Man.
Yeah. Talk about slow burn.
Well, then if I get you guys' permission, then I'm gonna listen to Bill and I'm gonna be okay with it. The thing is I know I'm being kind of goofy here in a way about it, but the cancel culture does kind of suck. But it makes perfect sense. He deserves to be canceled for what he did. But like when the old work kind of shows up and you find it, can you just kind of separate your mind from it and just listen to it and maybe just separate the work from the monster?
But I look at it as I got a lot of other stuff I could listen to, and then every time I listen to it, I don't want to have that conversation in my head. So I just
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't funny, but I'll find something else to listen to today.
Well, on that same with that note, though, I mean, I also listen to serial killer interviews too, and I wonder why did I just waste an hour and a half of my life listening to some psychopath talk about how they're innocent? So it's kind of like what am I doing with my time type thing.
Oh, you do you, Kane. You do you.
Well,
if you don't you're not you. And then having the Paranormal Super Show, it all makes sense.
Kane, I was gonna tell you brought up. He's like, you can't believe we were talking comedy today, but I want to point out that really what our show is about is highlighting local talent, and it doesn't matter what genre it's in. I find it amazing. We have so many great, talented people in our area for such a small, populous state. We really do have some great people. So throw all the bad Bill Cosbys in the trash. We've got a whole bunch of good ones, past, present, and future.
Well, and that's it's funny you bring that up because that's exactly what Dave's doing with his. He's highlighting, he's just highlighting cool people and people that he loves and people that are talented, people that are interesting, people that have a story or a tie to all of it. And so I think that that's the best way to go about it. But that's the joy of being a broadcaster. We're broadcasting right now, and it's just I don't know, man. The sky's going to be the limit on this thing for Dave. I know that we only have you for so long on this episode, but before we get out of here, I do want to ask you because I don't think people understand that you're also a musician and that you play in Dean the Bible, or you did, but you also lost a brother to you and a band member. And so I think that it would be a disservice to not at least bring it up and talk about it if you're willing to do that.
Yeah, we lost Dean the Bible himself, Dan Dobbs, to cancer not too long ago, and it was a pretty quick. Well, I mean, quick in that it wasn't like 5 years. It was, we played a show a year before, 2 years ago. And that was the first time we'd played in a long time, and it felt really good. And then we decided we were going to play another show, and then he got the cancer. His dad told me after the fact that when we did have the show, he showed up and we put him on a chair, and his dad said there was no way he wasn't coming to this. You would have had to put nails in the box before he was not coming to this. And it was just one of the greatest, you literally know this is, well, there's always I don't know, I just hope everybody all of a sudden recovers like a miracle. I don't give up hope until it's over. But he sat there and people were like lined up before we played while we were setting up just to shake his hand. And people came from out of state because they knew what was going on. And it was I just stared the whole show at him. I didn't look at the crowd. I didn't look at anybody else. I just watched him the whole time. And just so I'm not going to ever forget this kind of thing. So Dan was a great friend. And the fun thing is the last couple of shows we played with together, his kid Dave, which Dan knows a bunch of Daves. There's like 4 of us, and so he named his kid Dave, and he tells every one of us it's named after him. He's named after us, but it's everybody that is Dave. He named it, and so that's the cool. So his kid got to play with us, and we got to put him on the stage. In junior high, he's playing at a bar. He's like, that's the story he can tell his friends. Like, yeah, I played with my dad at the bar. I played at the zoo. Later on when they realize what the zoo bar is or Duffy's is, he'd be like, yeah, I played there when I was in junior high. It's like he's got a cool story to tell and a good memory for his dad. And I'm gonna always miss him.
Well, I'm just glad that you're here to, I hate to pull on your heartstrings. I know it's a hard thing, but I think that who better to tell the story than you? And so I've been kind of waiting to bring it up to when you were going to be in. So we lost somebody who was a colossal force in music here, somebody who was super talented. So, and unfortunately, it's just part of it. This just keeps happening, where we'll lose more people over time. But we got to remember that it always lives on, man. I mean, the music's there, the memories are there. And what a treat to be able to be in the band with them and to, be such a great friend to them.
Oh, I was a fan of the band before I was in the band. Actually, my band I play in leaves brown right now. Nope. Take it back. So Leaves Brown's been going on for a long. Yeah, I've been a fan. I've never been in, well, I guess a couple long time ago, but every band I'm in now, I'm always a fan of the band before I get in the band.
That would be nice. And some of the bands I've been in, I feel like they weren't a fan of the band as they were in the band.
Oh man.
Well, I want to point out this is why everybody here in the Scratch the Vinyl family needs to check out Dave's new podcast, because that's how easy it is for us to sit down with Dave and talk music and local talent. An hour goes by like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I talk a lot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's easy, Dave.
Type, yeah.
Yeah. Like, man, I appreciate everything you do. Love what's happening. I wish the best for you. You got our support. And it's because the 3 of us in general, we just love highlighting talented people and talking with real people about music. And thanks, buddy.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I tend to go up. I never make a train. I can never be a train conductor because everything tends to go off the rails. And I thank you guys for what you do. You've inspired a lot of people, and there's people that need their story to be told. It's just some people, like, they got to tell a story and it exists forever, and I think sometimes when I'm talking to people 30 years down the line, someone might watch this because they want to know what that guy thought, because that guy ended up being or is important,
I think that's why we do it. I mean, I've talked to Randy about this. When I had my heart issues, it's like I hadn't had anything recorded before that. I'd never had an album out. I'd never had any of this stuff. And it was like, I wanted to leave a legacy for my kids, like a diary. So if you will, for them to go back and they could listen to my thoughts, because there's so many people that I've lost. I'm sure you guys have too. Well, I'd give anything to just hear their voice one more time. I'd give anything to hear their thoughts on this thing or that thing. And yes, it's not all gold, right? They might hear me say some pretty cringy things, but that's why we do it. And so I just think it's a amazing time to be alive, where we can actually put all this stuff down on video, down on audio, and it can be there for virtually forever in some of these platforms.
I have to tell you quick, my grandniece, ooh, that's a tough one. My great grandniece is getting married this weekend, and my sister playing piano, playing the songs that they both walk out to on the piano. And she was at home and she was like, can you listen to this? And she was doing it on GarageBand and just off her iPad. And I'm like, hang on. So I call up Jeremiah Weir. I take my sister down. He professionally records my sister playing the piano. She's nervous as heck, but we get her through it. And we edit a few things, that she was all freaking out about, rightfully so. She's never done that, in the world. And I sent it when we sent it to my niece and her. I was like, now, she'll have something. My grandma played my wedding thing. I have this for the rest of my life. It's, like you say, the legacy. That's just so cool. That's the great thing about the digital age.
It is.
Kate, Kane, the way you were talking about that reminded me that we did a little gathering over this last weekend for Memorial Weekend. It was a year ago that we lost my cousin, Donnie Adams, who was huge in the music industry here in Lincoln and nationally and everything.
Big
loss. And so first I'm going to give a big shout out to his sister, Debbie, who got us all together. Totally appreciate her doing that. And we got together at Donnie's favorite eating place, which was Tico's downtown. And it was
I worked there for 3 months.
Yeah. And of course, his son, Donald Jr., is now taking his remains to Colorado this next weekend to their favorite spot. I think if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think it's like Table Rock Mountain or somewhere they went has special significance and is going to finally, finish off Donnie's last wishes. And I felt so fortunate to be part of that. But what I'm taking away when you were talking, Kane, was, how many times we do this show and we talk to people that I would still love to be able to message Donnie and just say, hey man, did you know these guys, or, what's going on? And because he had such great insight and takes on things. And it just makes me appreciate him more, but sad that I don't have that opportunity anymore to just talk to him about music.
We wake up on the green side of the grass, and that's all we can ask for. And then everything else is a bonus. So we just got to make the best of it, right? And remember the good things and make new good things.
Well, I think that's a great way to end this one. This definitely will not be the last time we will have our man, the Slacker himself, on the show. So thank you so much for being on the show today, Dave. And guys, go check out Slacker Dave Loves Nebraska. You can check it out everywhere that you can find us. You'll also find his podcast. And I guarantee that you guys will love these episodes and you guys will enjoy it as much as I have being a part of it. So thank you guys for listening. Podcasters now, Dave's a podcaster as well. We're like the new Avengers. So we've united for an episode and we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. So catch us every week here on the flip side here on
Scratch the Vinyl. Scratch the Vinyl.